All right, guys, welcome back to another market analysis. A very much needed one here today. Today is, I believe we're nearing the end of June, June 24th. So this month has absolutely flown by. We got some things to talk about today, though, because everyone's freaking the fuck out. The sentiment is probably the worst that I've seen it since the FTX crash, honestly. I haven't seen sentiment this bad in quite some time. Now, that doesn't mean we can't go lower in price, and I'm going to show you guys why that we could go lower, but I do believe that we are entering a spot where it's more wise to be entering positions than exiting positions. So to start, we're going to look at the USDT dominance, all right? So the USDT dominance and Bitcoin's price are inversely correlated. So when you see the USDT dominance going up, that's usually an indication that Bitcoin's price will go down. So when there's not a lot of price history on Bitcoin, you can always look at the USDT dominance to figure out, where the possible next move is going to be. And as you can see here on the USDT dominance, we had this bullish divergence here. I'm on a daily time frame at support. The USDT dominance went up, and that was the exact same time that Bitcoin started to fall, right? So very, very simple. They're inversely correlated. Now we are at a very key level at the moment because we are at the last daily resistance zone really until we get to here, and I don't want to see us get to here on the USDT dominance. Bitcoin's price will tank if that happens, right? We will see lower. But it's very important to know we are at this very key resistance zone here on the USDT dominance, right? So this is kind of like the bullish scenario at the moment. You can see we have price history here. We are flipping that trend cloud bullish. It looks like we're about to. Which is not the best sign. But also the easy oscillator is in that overbought zone, right? The easy oscillator is clearly approaching that overbought zone. The last time we've seen the easy oscillator at that overbought zone, it was August of last year, right? So almost a year ago, and that was before that huge run up, right? Before the massive run up for Bitcoin and all altcoins. We saw the USDT dominance in a very similar place that we are here. Now, just because we're approaching the overbought zone, it doesn't necessarily mean that that is going to be the absolute top, but most of the time, 90% of the time, it marks a local top, right? And I can even show you this based on the bullish oscillator as well, right? We're in the oversold zone, it marks a bottom, right? You can even see these buy dots here on the oscillator, marks a local bottom, marks a local top, marks a local top, right? Marks a local bottom. So the oscillator is very useful in situations like this on a daily time frame. So this is something that I'm currently watching for. And if we go to the Bitcoin chart, that's Bitcoin dominance, right? If we go to the Bitcoin chart, again on the daily time frame, you will see sort of a similar thing, but opposite playing out for Bitcoin. So I always talk about range trading, how we're trading in a range. You can't get bearish until we lose the range, and you can't get overly bullish until we break the range to the upside. So from this point on, we are still trading in a range, guys. Nothing has changed really in the past 2 months or so. Like from a price action perspective, nothing has changed. We are still at the same price that we were at literally at the beginning of March, right? And then in the middle of April, early May, we're still in the same price range. Obviously, alts have taken a fat hit, and that's due to Bitcoin dominance rising during this. But from a strictly classical charting perspective, we have seen a 90% move up, right? I want you guys to look at this, right? A 90% move to the upside, and we've accumulated since then at a max 22% drawdown in a range. This is very, very unlikely, guys. If we're speaking about classical charting, to see a 90% move parabolic to the upside and only seeing around a 22% retrace, and not only that, but accumulating in that range, just shows you how overly bullish the market is on a macro time frame, right? So this is still bullish market structure, and I've talked about this before, but we are technically speaking on a macro time frame still in bullish market structure until we lose 38K. So we could come down to 50K, even 40K, and still technically be in bullish market structure. Now, do we want that to happen? Obviously not. Do I think that's going to happen? Probably not, because we are still in this range, and at this very moment, we are at the range lows. Now, I did take a long position at around 64K. I wasn't expecting necessarily 64K to hold, but I was expecting some sort of bounce from this level, right? We had so many confluences here. I was expecting at least a move back to like 67K for the first take profit. And we didn't even get that. I mean, it has just been straight dumping for the past month or so, which is pretty rare to see that you just get straight dumpage. I mean, if we look at the past couple of moves, even this move, right, we still are getting those moves to the upside, right? We haven't seen that, right? You can see this, previous move. We're getting those moves to the upside. We really have not seen that thus far. We've just seen this main one move down. But again, I do think we are overdue for some sort of short-term correction. Now, does that mean that we hold these range lows? I don't know. You have to treat it as a range until it's broken. At the moment, you should be looking for longs now. And even the easy oscillator is in that oversold zone. Again, if we look back in previous price action, when was the last time that the oscillator was this oversold at around the 26 level mark here on the easy oscillator? You'll notice the last time that we were this oversold on the daily was back in September 2023, right? So kind of has confluence with the USDT dominance there, that the USDT dominance is extremely overbought and Bitcoin's price is oversold. Now, this is just on the oscillator, right? This doesn't mean it has to bounce immediately from here. But that combined with the extreme bearish sentiment tells me that there is a local bottom forming sometime soon. Doesn't have to be today, doesn't have to be next week, but in the next few weeks, I want to see either some more consolidation, meaning no more dumpage, or another move to the upside. And even if we get another move to the upside, guys, you can still look for short positions, right? Even if your thesis is bearish, let's say we get a move up to 67K, this was a level that I would be looking to take shorts at. So there's still opportunity in these markets, but at the moment we are at a very key daily support zone. You got to treat support as support until it's broken. So this is the time to be looking for longs, guys, going to lower time frames. If you see any setups on any altcoins, time to start looking for long positions, right? Because we are holding these range lows, and in a range, you would be expecting a bounce from here. So if we lose these lows, right? Let's say we do lose these range lows, or we lose these range lows, where are we looking next, right? Well, we do have this liquidity level here, right, on Bitcoin, 56K or so. There isn't a ton of price history at this level. So you could look for a swing failure here. There isn't that much price history at this level. Really, guys, the next spot that I would be looking for if we lose 60K, probably going to be low 50s, all right? It's probably going to be this area of consolidation here. If you go to a 3-day time frame, that's the 3-day order block, right? So really, this is the next level of kind of support, you could call it. If we lose the 60K lows, I don't consider this 56K level to be support. There's not a ton of price history here, right? I want to look for levels with price history. And to me, that's the 50K level. Now, will we get there 100%? I don't know. But for me, that is going to be the next level that I am looking at if we fail 60K. But again, we can't look at that until we lose 60K. So to me, nothing has really changed. We're still in this range, right? We see those range highs, range low, range low, range low, range high, range low. So we're still in the range. For some bullish hopium here, you could say this is an inverse head and shoulder, right? You could say that this is some sort of inverse head and shoulder, right? You could say inverse head and shoulder, something like this, right? And then continue higher, right? Inverse head and shoulder, right? Support, we lose it, reclaim, support, and then go higher. So that is some, bullish hopium for you guys. Again, you don't want to rely on patterns, so you want to play the horizontal levels. So that is pretty much it for Bitcoin. Now let's take a look at Ethereum here. Again, kind of the same story here with Ethereum. Actually looks to be holding slightly better than Bitcoin in my opinion, and that is due to ETH BTC. But again, right, nothing has really changed. We are retesting this key horizontal level at this very moment, and we are seeing some rejection. So this would be the level I'd be looking to long, right, somewhere around here. The level that we're bouncing from. The oscillator is not as oversold though on Ethereum. We are seeing some bullish divergences as well on a lower time frame, on a 12-hour time frame. Really not interested in trading Ethereum though. The main reason is due to the ETFs coming out in a week or two, right? Early July, the ETFs are launching. So I want to see what happens with the ETFs. Now I have two main scenarios. I posted this in the Pro Discord, but this is what I said in my analysis channel yesterday, and I want to relay this to you guys as well. Right, the main thing to do at this point is just to survive, right? I'm really looking at two scenarios that can happen here after the ETFs go live. The first one is that ETH ETF starts pumping ETH immediately. We see institutional inflows into Ethereum immediately, pushing alts up, and we see some sort of alt season this summer, right? Number two is that ETH ETF does nothing, and pretty much we got hyped for nothing. If the scenario plays out, we probably see very slow, choppy markets until Q4, right? So those are the two main scenarios I'm looking at. Either way, I do believe the next few months or so is going to be the time to be stacking up on your high conviction plays. This is the time to be buying. If we look at the fear and greed index, we went from extreme greed to now neutral in the matter of a week. So, next week from now, if price continues to go lower, we may see fear or even extreme fear, which is always a time to be buying. That's it for today's analysis. I will see you guys next video.